Alright. If you're unaware, like, the Nintendo has been out for almost over a little while, for a little over a year, because the Switch, remember, the Switch came out March last year, so pretty much, these Switches, like, are Nintendo's newest console, and all the Switches began lots of kind of issues, like, remember the third-party dock issue I destroyed, like, with the Nyko dock, pretty much if you use the Nyko branded dock on your Switch can get bricked, and that Switch becomes useless, and pretty much it's not going to be faring you well. Well, there is another problem that's going on with these Nintendo Switches. So pretty much, alright, this is my Nintendo Switch. So pretty much, it's like some Switches are reported to be cracking. Like, I don't know, maybe because either the Switch screen is getting cracked or something. Like some consumers are like some because we found the dock actually, like the dock was eating scratches on the Switch, and pretty much after a while it would start cracking your Switch, and pretty much your Switch would not being broke, and the only way to fix the Switch was to send it to Nintendo, but Nintendo's been also charging a lot of money, almost a lot of money, just to get your Switch fixed up and brand new again. And we're gonna talk about the situation because I know because these Switches, they have a lot of problems. So I want to find out the solution to why these Switches, like why some people's Switches have been cracking, and how this can relate to the dock either. And this also goes to show you that you have to be gentle with these Switches. You have to be gentle with them. Don't just horseplay or just think you want to play rough on these, because these Switches cost a lot of dough, and you don't want to pay on another. You don't want to pay up an arm and a leg just to get another Switch. Because trust me, these are really. Because don't just throw your Switches or just play rough on them, or you don't even let a little child or baby or toddler play with these Switches. Because if you live with a little child, let your toddler go into a room and see the Switch in your dock, and they could just take it off the dock or drop the Switch on the floor, then they'll end up playing with it, even though they don't know what to do with it, and they'll end up breaking the Switch. So yeah. Want to see how these, like, this could either be a design flaw, like somehow maybe the dock's design might not be properly made, and sometimes, because I know my Switch has not been seen any scratches. I feel like it's still brand, and because I had it for over a year, because I got it around release month, and so far it's been faring well. It's not been seeing much scratch or battle damage. So I'll read this article so you can find out what's been going on with some people's Switches getting a big crack, and hopefully we can find out on proper solution how to take care of them. So let's just read this article, find more information about. Also, do not, like, I know this part, like, here, because it feels like these Joy-Cons, like these things, they're not probably, because I know this one is fine, but somehow this part of the Joy-Con just came off, and pretty much I cannot use, this Joy-Con is more useless than ever. So pretty much I cannot use this, for Mario Kart only I can use one of these Joy-Cons, but the other has to remain docked. I know, it sucks. Yeah, whatever. Let's read these articles so you can find more information about this little flaw that's been happening to most people. The article from Ghanese starts off with the Nintendo Switch has been out for a little over a year, and owners of the system are undoubtedly starting to notice some long-term issues with it. Initially, some consumers found the docking station supplied with the console was leaving scratches on the screen. Others using experienced some software glitches like upon launch as well. So pretty much on launch month, when we try booting up a game on launch month or launch day, your game would glitch out, and the software would just either glitch out, soft lock, crash, or even do some damage to your Switch. Now that this has been out for a while, so these early bugs and flaws have been addressed. However, new problems have arisen regarding the Switch's plastic exterior. Some staff members on Nintendo Live just started to notice some small cracks develop around the unit's ventilation system. Initially thinking it was just wear and tear. They also posted a poll to see if anyone else was affected. The results were a bit troubling, and that's no good. With over 1,000 votes, 20% say they experienced the issue. Some users sent in photos of their system, and it appears that cracks can happen in and around the Switch's plastic casing. Some even have tiny cracks along the top of theirs, while the others have large gashes on the back near the left Joy-Con. One either showed the entire grill on the system's ventilation is gone. Some people theorize the material used for the switch is unable to handle extreme temperatures it can sometimes climb up to. This issue is also thought to become worse when the console is docked, which causes the unit to heat up more. As of now, Nintendo has no official solution and has not recognized it as a manufacturing problem. This means fans are sending their broken hardware and pay Nintendo to fix it, with some European fans reported to cost €150, or however the currency in Europe, and by US money, it's $175 to pay for fixing your Switch. Nintendo Life reached out to the company for a statement, and they only directed consumers to their customer service team. After checking in with the European team, we can confirm we haven't seen a notable number of consumer inquiries on this topic. With all our products, encourage users who experience any issues to visit that link for assistance for our customer service team. However, this is the first time Nintendo had this issue. Nintendo DS Lite's plastic casing also frequently cracked around the hinges. However, Nintendo was placing units at no cost back then. Maybe the company will do the same this time with the Switch if they've given enough time to address the issue. This is also the first time the heat has affected the Nintendo Switch. Around the time of launch, owners of the Switch were claiming the high temperatures were warping the plastic. This could be a sign to Nintendo to use a higher quality material for the Switch's casing. However, this could impact the cost of the system, so it's unlikely the company will seek out a more expensive casing. Have you guys had any cracking issues? Does your Nintendo Switch handle the heat well? Let us know in the comments below. If your unit suffered any damage, feel free to post pictures and share your stories. Personally, I don't notice any damage yet, but I'm keeping an eye out for this issue. And same here, because I want to check out, like, if these Switches have been getting battle damage, then oh boy. So pretty much to sum it back, like, my Switch, I had it for over a year, and I don't think I saw any battle damage. I mean, the salt, like, this, I'm Stephen, oh my god. Because you can tell the Switch is my Switch is actually fine. It hasn't seen any battle damage or any wear and tear over anything. So pretty much, again, let's address some of these Switch safety issues. Like, make sure the Switch is actually, make sure don't let anyone young, under the age of 6 to play with these very fragile consoles. Also buy a screen protector, because if you don't be careful, you can actually taking a Switch off like the store or something, and you drop that Switch on the hard ground, that's gonna be your own flame if you actually drop it. So pretty much, if you're gonna go to the store, just leave your Switch at home, or just put soft flooring, because you don't want to play rough, or someone actually tips over the Switch and pretty much it hits hard flooring. It can actually leave some skids, or even the screen can get cracked. So just be careful. These Switches, they are really, really fragile. Especially I got mine around release month. By release, I mean around March. I got mine, I think, near the end of March. I think these still on the release. I mean, the Switches were still going up. I got mine then. So I still got a very early model. So again, I'm trying to be careful with these Switches. Also, if you fact that, also always check the dock when you're playing on docked or TV mode. Always check the dock, or actually feel the dock if it's hot or not. Because make sure the Switch is actually cool. Because if you also I also take little breaks between the Switch. For me, I just do all I do is pretty much play 4 hours, not even a few hours of Switch, and I give it the break it deserves, because I make sure I want the Switch to last a very long lifetime, because I can actually use this for my live streams and stuff like this. So yeah, be careful. Just be careful not to overheat your Switch, because unless you want your Switch to get warped. Like the ventilation, unless you want the ventilation area to become warped and your Switch can get heat up easy. Yeah, just be careful. Just also also look at the way you put it in the dock. Make sure it's not crooked or like this. Also, be careful with these Joy-Cons, because these Joy-Cons, they are really small. Also, let me talk about these game cards. I know I addressed this in last night's stream, but very briefly. There we go. Alright. Be very careful with these small game cards, as pretty much these are really small. I mean, look, really small. They're not even small. They're not even tall enough than an average pinky finger. you need to be really careful. Not just saying about the Switch, but just watch out for your game cards. Like, these are really small. Like, look how tiny this is. And look at this. In far view, look how tiny this card can be. Watch where you put these game cards, because these are really expensive. 60, because, and the game example is here is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Look how tiny this thing is. It is so tiny that someone could mistake it for like something else because they don't see like it's so small. No one's actually gonna zoom it up to close so you can actually read it like this. So yeah, just watch you put these game cards. These are really expensive, like Mario Kart Deluxe, $60, and you don't want to pay for a new copy. This ends up getting lost, or like someone even eats it or anything. Because I know you can actually lick these, and trust me, I don't want to do this on video because it's not appropriate. So yeah, just watch out, just watch out for these game cards. These are really small. They can easily end up on the floor, and someone could actually steal these on the floor if you're not paying attention. So yeah, what I would do is just, if you're not using the game, just put it in its game cartridge case, like this, because these cases are fine because they're actually pretty big. So they're not big, actually big like a Wii U or Wii game case, but at least these are kind of huge. So these are actually more obvious to see than just this tiny thing. So yeah, just be careful of them because you don't want to pay money for these. Because spoiler alert, you don't. Also, when you're putting a game away, always make sure you hear this sound. If you hear that noise, that means your game case is actually dead. Because otherwise, you just leave it. If you leave it slightly open, like if you look like this, guess what? Some people can, the case can still open if it's still like, if it's something you tap, oh, you only do this. Make sure you do both ends, okay? Just don't do it once, because I'm not actually open up this case, take the game cartridge, and you can actually not see it again. So this can actually happen. You actually lose the game card on the floor, because it's so tiny, you cannot even see it unless you have like. So yeah, just watch out for these. These game cards are really tiny, and you don't want to lose them. But back to the Switch, like make sure you probably take care of these things. These are really expensive, and you do not want to send yours to Nintendo. You would think want to send your broken Switch to Nintendo. You would think you're gonna pay almost $200 to get your Switch fixed. No, thank you. You would not want to pay. You do not want to pay $200. $200 for this, almost around $200 to get your Switch fixed. Yeah, right. So again, look, and to avoid that situation, just watch out for your Switch. Just be very careful. Don't let kids under the age of 6 touch these. Like if you see, like if you're babysitting or something, make sure you hide your Switch, or like put it away, or put it in a high spot where no one can reach it. Like seriously, you don't want to see these, because I know always. And also watch your Switch. Make sure when you're using it on docked mode, make sure the Switch screen isn't getting cracked or anything, because it feels like some of these crack situations are happening because of the dock. Just watch out for them. If you guys like, I'm trying to be sure I give you some Nintendo safety tips. Just be careful with these Switches, because these are really fragile. Like, especially if you got it around, I bet you got it on launch day, then you have to be careful, because you don't want your Switch to end up getting broken. Because the only person you have to blame is yourself if it ends up getting broken. That's all you have to say. Also, look at your Joy-Cons. Make sure, like, are your Joy-Cons okay? Because here's like, okay, so my Joy-Cons, like both of them, they look fine. They have not taken any damage or wear and tear. So yeah, I take care of my Switch like I actually care about it. I do not play rough with it. I don't drop it almost every single time. I do not. Like, just be careful with these Switches, because these are very fragile. And it feels like Nintendo needs to fix the flaws that the Switch dock has, or the Switch has. Make sure they don't, these type of problems don't have, because remember, remember, like, so, cause like, if you saw Etika's video, like, Etika from the Etika World Network, he said someone's Switch actually melted the SD card, because they must have been playing almost over 200, or almost 48 hours of Breath of the Wild, and now they're giving the Switch a break. So if you don't be careful, The problem is, you can melt your SD card. You could actually melt it. Because of the Switch's heat, and since it's not getting the cooldown it needs, it can actually melt your SD card. So be careful. Like, give the Switch a break, because after like 5 hours, just give the Switch its break, okay? Don't overdo it. Just give Switch a break so it can actually cool down and actually, because if you can actually feel the Switch, like my Switch feels cool and it doesn't feel it does not feel hot or anything because I know I haven't used it. So just be careful with it, okay? You do not want to see unless you want to break your Switch and pay almost $275 just again in case and if you don't have the money, go guess what? You're a broken Switch now. Congrats. Go nuts. I know this Joy-Con problem. This isn't really much of a wear and tear. All you just get a new Joy-Con and pretty much boom, no problem. This isn't exactly a real problem to send this to Nintendo for. So yeah, so let's do the concluding question of the video. Has the Switch been seeing anyway? Has the Switch been seeing like wear and tear or little damage? Are you giving the Switch the break it deserves? Like after don't use it for a lot of times? And do you think Nintendo's charging way too much, or do you think Nintendo's gonna address this problem so the Switch can actually so your Switch doesn't end up actually getting broken? Have you been playing? Have you been treating your Switch like you actually care about it, not send it towards utter oblivion? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, also excuse me. Also, oh, I forgot about pets. Make sure you don't have any. Also, some other safety tips. Do not have drinks near the Switch dock or the Switch itself. Like, you have a Switch right here, right here, and you have a drink next to you. Put the Switch, either put the Switch away. Finish your drink first and put the Switch on a high blaze, because if you spill it on the Switch, guess what happens? It's gonna break. So yeah, don't have drinks near the Switch dock or anything. Keep it away from it. Otherwise, because you can actually super soak your Switch. Because this actually happened to me with my 3DS, so the top screen on the 3DS would not work, and I had to send it to Nintendo for repairs. So yeah, don't have drinks near it. Also, do not play rough. Don't just play rough at night, because trust me, these Switches are really fragile. Also, be careful with these Joy-Cons. Make sure you don't play hard on the Joy-Cons, because these are actually really, really essential for the Switch. I think I'll leave a link in the description. If you know more safety tips about the Switch, so you can figure out how to treat your Switch with proper care, so you end up paying that almost $200 you need to fix your Switch, because you don't want that. Trust me, you don't. But anyway, it feels like I've gone this video for way too long. 18 minutes to be a good sufficient time to help go over some safety tips and read the article, and actually help you protect your Switch. So that's all I have to say for this little article. Excuse me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your Saturday.